Hello from Pax Europiana here. This is Günther here from Kyiv. It's 2022. I'm in front of the most famous and most amazing cathedral complexes. Actually, there are two. This is one hill of Kyiv, and here is the old town basically. That's the foreign ministry. I call for European Union membership here of this beautiful country of Ukraine. That was my article this week in the Courier. And here I want to show you and give you some impression of the foreign ministry, the amazing cathedrals in the center of the town. Here the founding fathers, or in the case of Ukraine, the founding mothers of that beautiful country. And here the main, it's one of the hills, there's the Lavra on the other side. I will see how much of the city I can show you on this visit. I will now walk basically just to explain you as well. And this is the monument of the heroes. And here you can see the whole history of Ukraine in all these monuments. Here is the monument for the fallen of the Maidan. This is the monument of the Holodomor. It's one of them. I will also show you the main one. But basically, the whole history of Ukraine can be very simply explained here. Ukraine, the victim of Russian aggression, here of the Soviet aggression, where the Ukrainians didn't want to be part of the Soviet Union. They were militarily defeated during the Russian Revolution and the Russian Civil War, and then they were subdued and suppressed and under genocidal disaster in the years of 32-33. It was part of the Soviet industrialization and to kill the Ukrainian farming class. Here you see then 2014, the Heavenly 100. Again, the Ukrainian will to join the West, and they were fighting and they were killed for their Western integration, but they succeeded that time. Of course, Russia took bitter revenge for Ukraine leaving the Russian world, and the result was the Crimea War and the Donbass War. And here you see the wall of the fallen heroes, and you see all the people who died in that tragic war from 2014, and now Putin is threatening another war. It's complete disaster, and we Europeans are on the sidelines. And that must change. I will walk now down to Maidan to explain you also the recent Ukrainian history and call for support for Ukraine from the side of the European Union and from the Austrians, because that's really what we have to do. We have done much too little in the last years, and we have neglected that beautiful country. We have not, as I said, all the time since I came to Ukraine in 2016, when I arrived, we have to treat Ukraine the same like Croatia. It's a normal Western-oriented, war-torn country like Southeastern Europe. We have several of them. And they have to be integrated in the structures of Southeastern Europe, which we have so successfully. It's not a Russian colony. It's not too complicated or too big. It's just a normal country in Europe, which is under war of Russia, like the others were under war from Serbia. And it must be integrated and supported inside the Regional Cooperation Council, inside CEFTA, with a EU potential candidate country, with a NATO membership action plan, the same like all countries of Southeastern Europe. Yeah? And it's basically also the same region, the same area, and the kind of power triangle between Turkey, Russia and the West. This is the same truth all over the place, and we have to support it. And we have to support it fully, much more than we have done up to now. And we have to do that now because, not only because it's a morally right thing, but because Putin is laughing at us. He's threatening the third war, and we are like like no strategy, no plan, totally surprised. This is entirely unacceptable. And I have now published what I could in the Austrian media, and I'm not, we cannot be surprised. And as I say, there are several ways to settle this current crisis, but what is happening now is complete mishandling. We need a clarity. We need the EU membership perspective. We need obviously also NATO. But there are several models I will outline now, and I will discuss walking down to the Maidan how we can do it. But this kind of doing nothing, keeping it as a buffer, treating it like foreign policy, keeping it in Eastern Partnership, is entirely then showing Putin that he can do whatever he wants and by the threat of force change the Western world order together with China. And that's what they also, they say it. It's very simple. They say it, they want to do it, they write it, and we behave as if we would have no plan. But okay, here's the road to Maidan. That's the hill. I've already described it. Basically up there is the hill where the old town is. I will also show you the old town. Some of my videos I have done already, but that's my first time. I'm back now since 2020 in the summer when I left after 4 years. And I will show you now the city. I will explain you Kyiv. I will give you the video about the old town and the political events and what we actually have to do to solve it. It's the same what I say also in my articles. Some will say, okay, I argue different things like NATO, EU, Euro. No, it's all the same. But you have to see where the optimal way forward is. Yeah? And it's absolutely there. And I will now, and we should have done it already 2016. That's my big annoyance. But at that time I couldn't publish in the media. I will now shout it out as loud as I can what needs to be done by video, by podcast, by my articles, by my tweets, and I will do my utter best to make sure that the heroes their sacrifice is not lost, but that Ukraine, at least the 93% which are free, and that's what I always say, the free part of Ukraine to be in NATO and in the EU, and that is what we need to do. Here now at the Maidan, I will show you that most important place in European post-Cold War history, in the last 20 years at least. There's also important places for historic significance in Kosovo and Bosnia for the first decade after the Cold War. But this is obviously now the place to be. And here you see the Maidan. I call it the European Maidan. I never understood why they changed it to Dignity Revolution. I call it European Maidan, a revolution for Europe. That's what I see here. And that's what I support, yeah? European Ukraine. Membership of Ukraine in the European Union. It's so logical. And of course in NATO, and of course by the Euro, that I will all explain in the coming days when I'm here to give you my take about the situation from Austrian perspective and from my last 20 years traveling, or 30 years. I was first time in Ukraine in 1990 actually, but it was part of the Soviet Union still, in this youth activity from Austria actually by trade. So here it is, and here it's very beautiful. I like it very much. Hotel Ukraina, here this amazing square, and I will make a specific video on what happened here in the Maidan. Now first to call for EU membership, and that I will explain in my next video. So much. Thanks a lot for watching. More to come from Pax Europiana here from Ukraine. Bye.